I'm JD, and I moved from Alaska to Portugal after I paid $15,000 to buy this old house that has sat empty for years. Now I'm in the process of renovating it on a budget in order to return it to its former glory, and welcoming you on the DIY journey.
Hey everybody, welcome. Very sorry that I didn't have a video last week. I was really busy with non-house stuff and just didn't have enough time to get enough stuff done for a video or do editing or any of that. In the future, I'll definitely try to give some advance warning if I'm not gonna have a video out one week. So in this video, I say a few times that the pipes are soldered and then correct myself later. So you can just ignore that if you know about plumbing. I'm a welder, not a plumber, so I don't know what decades old solder is supposed to look like. But I correct myself later and fix it. So before I start the video, I'll do a quick little recap for anyone that's new or just hasn't caught up on all the videos or whatever. And thank you to the person that suggested that. Last time I took off all the old plaster that had been really damaged from the gutter overflowing and water running down whenever it rained, which is all fixed now. But I took all the plaster off and the old loose plaster that was in places on the two walls on the side, and chiseled out all the concrete around the pipes that were embedded in the wall, and ended it in the kitchen where I was chiseling out the concrete, but ended up buying the wrong tool for it. So hopefully that catches everything up. So luckily I was able to exchange the jackhammer. I got this one. It's much heavier, but this one is just a jackhammer, not a drill, and definitely way heftier and should be more what I was expecting. I was looking at the watts, and I guess I should have been looking at the joules, and I don't really know how to visualize that. This one is 17 joules, and the last one was 2.75, and the last one, it was hammer drill slash jackhammer, and this one is just jackhammer, so I feel like this will be just what I was expecting. And this was 119 euros. It was on sale. Normal price is, I think it was 139, so not too much more. But now I'll go ahead and test it out. So yeah, this is way more powerful. This will be a lot faster, especially with the right tip. I just wanted to test it with the chisel against the hand chisel, but the pointed tip will be better for breaking up the concrete. So now to try with the pointed tip. Way faster, works good. We'll definitely need a mask though. So in the last video, there's a lot of comments about renting tools. I haven't seen any places here that rent, just like some farm equipment. And I even double checked to see if Bricomarché did, and they don't, at least not here. But from what a lot of the comments said, in the US, Lowe's rents tools, so I'm sure Home Depot does too. So if you are renovating in the US, that's always a good option. So I wanted to chisel out the whole way to see what type of connection it was. I was hoping to be the like screw kind that's outside, but this is soldered, so I will actually have to cut it and get the right kind of cap for that. Although this, I won't need the cap, just for the cold water because that is the only one that has water in it. So before y'all get on to me about not wearing gloves, I have way better grip and dexterity without gloves. And I tried it with gloves at first, but I just wasn't comfortable with it. It didn't feel safe, so no gloves. And here, even though I drained the water from the lowest point, there was still a lot of water in the pipe. And I think it's because they're not exactly level, so I think it was just holding water. So I don't know if you can see or not. You can definitely see that this pipe is in bad condition, but it looks like the pipe was leaking at the joint, and had this sprung a leak, it would have just ate away at the wall a bunch and just caused so much damage probably before you even knew it was a big problem. And I'm definitely not gonna keep it like it is, but if I was gonna put it in the wall again, I would at least use something that's soft and easy to chip out. I would think like adding a bunch of extra sand to the cement if you're gonna do that to make it softer, because you really just need something to take up space and keep it in place, so you don't need anything structural. So just keep that in mind, because the lifetime of what you're putting inside, or even till just the next time that you're gonna renovate, is definitely gonna be a shorter time frame than the life of the concrete. At this point, you may be asking, doesn't this cut off all the water to the bathroom? And the answer is yes. However, since I don't have hot water, I don't take showers in there. I just take showers at the gym, which, if you ever need motivation to go to the gym, just shut off your hot water. And for the toilet, I was trying to see if I could move it back since it sticks out so much from the wall and takes up so much space. And I ended up trying to unscrew the connections on the tank, and even though they're just screwed on, they had used PVC glue, so they were glued down, and it's old plastic, so it ended up cracking and just leaking so much that I just shut off the water to it and have been using a bucket to flush for a while. And the kitchen sink is just so much more convenient than that tiny little sink in the bathroom. Here you can see just how badly this pipe is corroded. And it's galvanized. Or was. So this type of wall is called taipa in Portuguese. Thank you for everybody that commented that. That actually helped a lot with researching. It's about 1/2 meter thick, just clay and stones. And also thank you to everybody that commented what the holes were. These were left over from the frames for the forms when making the house to compact it down. And it will end up being a really good reference point for the plaster to keep everything relatively the same thickness. So the plan is I have this clay. A lot of it is actually what I salvaged from the wall itself, and it is just the dirt from the ground, so it's very easy to come by. And I'll just wet the wall and fill in the holes, and hopefully it'll stick. Because I couldn't find a whole lot of information online about actually making repairs like this. So I'll just try it out and see how it works. So it's kind of a concrete-like consistency. I'm hoping that's good. But I can always add more water or more clay if I need it thinner or thicker. I'm not sure how much definition you can see here, but I'll start with this hole, which is maybe 1 inch deep, a couple centimeters. And it's not that big, so it'll be an easy test. Alright, so I got my bucket of mud, my bucket of water for washing, and I'll just spray this down to get it wet. So as you can see, that seemed to work pretty good. I'll let it dry and see how well it actually holds. This hole here is pretty deep, so I'll add in bigger rocks to fill in more space. And same for like here, this lost a lot of clay, and then just filling in where the pipe was too. earlier several people asked if I was gonna do a clay finish on the wall, and my mind went straight to Tadelakt, which I only learned about earlier this spring, which I think is Moroccan, and it's seems like a kind of complicated, time-consuming method. So the plan was just to do plaster, lime plaster. But seeing how this turned out, especially in like some of the other smooth areas, I looked up just clay plaster finishes, and that's pretty much the same as doing lime plaster. So, and this, especially when it's dry, it's like rock hard. So I'll do a little more research, and I'm pretty sure I will just end up doing at least the clay walls, doing it with the clay plaster. But I would really like to try doing the Tadelakt for like the kitchen counter or something like that. And if you've never heard of that, I'll put a video in the description. And just like how last week I didn't have enough to make a video, this week I kind of have too much for one video, so I'm going to go ahead and split it up. So next week's will be slightly out of order. It'll pretty much just all be in the kitchen. But it's supposed to be over 100 for several days. I think that's like 38 Celsius. So I won't be getting any work done, at least not very much. I'll probably just spend most of the time at the beach. And thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next week. Ciao.